The ledger's rule is simple. A debt must be paid in the currency it was incurred. To stop the Shaw family, I have to host a public reckoning where everyone settles their score. Alistair Shaw stood in my kitchen, offering me a gilded cage. The library reopened. My life back. All for a book. He misread my silence for consideration. Think of it as closing your grandfather's accounts, he said, his hand outstretched. That's when I saw the ledger's true function. It wasn't a blackmail book. It was a binding contract. Gramps hadn't used it to control people, not really. He'd used it to create balance. A favor for a favor. A lie for a lie. The debt wasn't a chain, it was a deal. And a deal can be renegotiated if both parties agree. The debt on the final page, I said, my voice steadier than I felt. The town's everything. It's for the right of way, correct? Shaw's smile didn't waver. In essence. But the town never agreed to that specific price, I said. The debt is vague. According to the book's own logic, that means it's open to interpretation. To a new settlement. His eyes hardened. Don't be clever, son. It's not a ledger of suggestions. It's a ledger of facts. Then let's settle them, I said. Publicly. All at once. Let the town pay what it owes in full and final payment. No more vague everything. Specific, closed accounts. I saw the flicker of doubt in his eyes. The ledger's power was in the silent, private shame. Bringing it into the light that changed the chemistry. He couldn't refuse without looking weak. A town meeting, he said slowly. Tomorrow night. You bring the ledger. We'll settle up. The words spread like a grass fire. By 7 p.m., the town hall was packed. A fearful, electric silence filled the room. I stood at the front with the ledger. Alistair Shaw and his lawyers sat at the council table, spectators now. I didn't mince words. This book contains debts between you and the Shaw family, mediated by my grandfather. Alistair Shaw is calling them due, for the right of way through Mill Street. But a debt paid is a debt cleared. So tonight, we pay. I started reading. Not the big, terrible secrets. The small ones. Asterisk Lena Cruz. 2015. Used Shaw's dump truck for community cleanup after the flood. Debt, 1 weekend of volunteer work at the Shaw Timber Camp. Asterisk Lena, red-faced, stood up. I never did those hours, she called out. Alistair gave a stiff nod. Consider it paid, he said. The ledger line shimmered, then faded, as if the ink was dissolving. We went on. A repaired fence. A covered shift. A small loan. With each public acknowledgement, a line faded. The ledger was reacting. The mood in the room shifted from terror to a grim, collective courage. Then I got to the big ones. Mayor Hendricks. He stood before I could speak. I falsified environmental reports for the Shaw Mill runoff, he said, his voice cracking. My debt was my career. So, effective now, I resigned. The room gasped. The line in the ledger vanished. We were burning the book clean. But Alistair Shaw was watching, calm as stone. We were playing his game. Finally, we reached the last entry. The town of Oakhaven. Right of way through Mill Street. Debt, everything. The page was almost blank now, just that one stark line. The debt remains, Shaw said, standing. You've settled old, minor accounts. This is the principle. And everything is quite clear. This was it. The ledger's rule. Payment must be in the currency of the debt. What was the currency of everything? I looked at the tired, scared, but now defiant faces of my neighbors. Mrs. Gable from her blue house. Mr. Ortiz from the farm. And I understood. The currency wasn't land or money. It was obligation. The town perpetual owing. Its silence. Its soul. The debt is everything, I said, my heart hammering. So here is our final payment. I turned to the town. Do you, the people of Oakhaven, release the Shaw family from any and all future moral, historical, or personal obligation? Do we declare ourselves, from this moment forward, square? Even a murmur, then a roar. Why yes! Exclamation. I turned back to Shaw. There. We've paid everything we could ever owe you. The account is closed. The right of way is denied. For a second, I thought I saw real anger in his eyes. Then it was gone, replaced by that cool smile. The line in the ledger didn't fade. It burned away to ash, leaving a hole in the page. The ledger snapped shut in my hands, the cover warping, the canvas aging to dust in seconds. It was spent. Empty. Shaw leaned close, his voice for me alone. You saved their houses, Ellie. But you've made an enemy who doesn't use ledgers. Just lawyers and bulldozers. And you've robbed them of their glue. He left. He was right. The town was saved, but it was different. Hendricks was gone. Awkward silences hung between people who now knew each other's hidden prices. We were free, but we were exposed. I keep the ruined ledger on a shelf in the now reopened library. It's just a burnt old book. But sometimes, when someone tells a small, kind lie to spare a feeling, or does a favor and says don't mention it, I see them glance at it. We all know the price of a debt now. And we're careful what we owe. Alistair Shaw's new development plans are stalled in court. The fight's not over. It's just changed currencies. From secrets to lawsuits. From what's written in ink to what's written in stone. The question isn't whether the supernatural is real. It's whether the truth can ever set you free, or if it just transfers the chains to someone else. And that's the story of the inheritance ledger. The artifact is gone, but the debts it revealed are still shaping our town. Was it worth it? Would you trade your community's comfort for its survival, if you knew the cost? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this two-part supernatural thriller, please like this video, subscribe for more stories of ordinary people facing impossible choices, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new tale. Check out the shorts for key moments, and we'll see you next time.